Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're at day one of the April Daily LeetCode Challenge. First of all, big congratulations to all of you who have completed successfully the March Daily LeetCode Challenge. I will again repeat, it's not just about solving every question. It's all about how much you have learned. Okay, you should be able to solve similar questions whenever it comes in a contest or whenever you get something similar kind of questions in an interview. That should be the ultimate purpose. It's not just about solving, because see, solving what people normally does is they will solve very very intended way for the first 2 weeks, and then they will be discontinuing it. Or some people will simply copy pasting it. They will try, see if it is a medium or easy question, they will try. If it's hard question, they'll simply copy paste the solution. See, that is not something that is going to help you ultimately. Okay, that may make the profile look greener. That's all I can say. It may make the profile look greener, but that is not the objective here. Okay, you should be able to understand the questions. And one very important point here is that, see, till now whatever questions you have seen, at least you will have we are you are having the editorial access for that. But in this current question, you don't even have the editorial access. So that is the reason why it's important that you don't have the don't keep the habit of always seeing someone's solution and then trying it. Take this as a challenge. Set a timer. Have have a dedicated time for this, maybe 1 or 2 hour window, whichever is feasible for you. Have that window and then try it. So this is the day one. That's why taking some time to give you the suggestions, because see, many people are discontinuing. They are not able to see towards the end of the month. Many see, at the starting there will be huge population, but towards the end of the month, very few people will be actually solving the questions, even if it is hard. Okay, so that is will be my request is, some please have some dedicated slot for solving the questions. That will definitely help you in your career. See, problem solving is not just related to coding or only for interviews. This is in general going to help you, even if you're going to start your own startup, or if you're setting for a big company's interview. These things will definitely help. And moreover, see, it's not just about interviews or pace or pay slips and checks. It's not just about that. It's also about problem solving. You're getting to learn something new. Okay, so you can apply the same concept daily life. Let us say you are designing a software for a particular purpose. Let us say for a shopkeeper, designing software, so you should be able to handle all possible cases. Okay, designing a calculator should be able to handle all possible cases. So those kind of thinking will only come if you have the problem solving mindset, if you have the problem solving experience. That is why solving problems is always appreciated. This is something that every company now looks for. So in future this will only increase further. Okay, the bar will only increase further. So my request to you will be, please have some dedicated slot every day. It could be half an hour, it could be 1 hour, but please have a dedicated slot in which you will completely try to solve the question on your own. If you're not able to, then obviously it is fine to see the answer. If the answer is not able, see the other solution and try to understand, see the discussion section and go get some hints. That is fine, but at least for one dedicated portion of the time, you should be solving it on your own. That is something that I want to tell you. And let us quickly begin with this question. It's a very good question to start with. Let me tell you this question actually was part of a contest. I mean to say, weekly contest. And if you see the acceptance rate, this was around 50% when I saw this today morning, but now it went to 60. So let us quickly see what this question is. See, my expectation is that you read the question once. I will give the link in the comment, the video description. Read it once if you have not seen it previously. Go through the examples and then come back to this video. Okay, because it's slightly lengthy question. Definitely it is, I will say, not easy one. It will need some time for you, because see, you will get time load exit error if you're not solving optimally. So my request to you, please get to know the question, because I cannot read every word and make you understand every word here. My aim is to show you the ideas, and obviously to explain you why I am going for that idea and why I'm not going for something else. Okay, I will teach all this portion. My aim is to show you the solution, as well as to develop that uh, the problem solving ability. I mean to say, the thinking ability, your ability to link the words given the question with the solution that will be feasible for this. Okay, that thing that I'm trying to build you. Okay, simple as that. Now coming to this question, if you see what is given, so you are given questions like that. Okay, so each one, okay, it's a 2D array, but here each array here in between the first array is going to tell you a question. Okay, so what they're trying to tell you is that, see, each question will have two parts. The first part represents the points, the second part represents the brain power. The points means that if you solve this question, okay, let us say I solve this question, I will get 3 points, because this, the first part is the point. Similarly, for this is the point, and for this is the point. The second part is something called as brain power. I'm not sure why they have given something like this. This doesn't actually represent what it actually is. Okay, but the idea here is brain power is something. It means you will have to skip those many questions. Okay, for example, if you see here, if I talk about the first question, see, if I solve this particular question, I will get 3 points, but I will have to skip the next two questions. That means this question. Okay, let me highlight it here. Yeah, this question and this question you'll have to skip. if you solve the first question, because here they are writing it as two. Two means next two questions. Okay, exact next two questions should be skipped. Okay, you cannot attempt the next two questions if you have solved the first question. Okay, that is something that I'm trying to tell you. Okay, so first part is the points. Okay, the zeroth index is basically the points. Okay, they have clearly mentioned that, and the first index, okay, is called the brain power. Okay, you will be unable to solve each question for the next brain power questions. Okay, as simple as that. They've given a good example. Go through it maybe. Your aim is to attain the maximum number of points you can earn from the exam. Okay, you are not given any hard and fast rule that you have to start solving from the zeroth question itself. There is no such rule. You can start from any index possible, but you have to follow these rules that you will get only the points for the question that you solve. You will not get points for the question that you skip. And second thing is that if you determine to solve a question, you will have to skip the next brain power I questions. Okay, as simple as that. Now how to solve this? Okay, so the logic is going to be very simple. See here, we are going to see the idea here is once I know that this is the brain power, I will have to skip the next two questions. Okay, that is something like that. Okay, so we'll try to attack, or I will say we'll start to tackle this question in a reverse manner. That is, from instead of going from left towards right, what we'll do is we'll start from left. So we'll start from right and go towards the left. Okay, that is the direction we are going to follow. We'll go from right towards the left. Okay, so that is this. We are going to consider the first question that we are going to, we are going to tackle. That is, obviously it's not determined whether we'll solve it or we'll skip it. That is there, but we are going to consider this question as the first question. Okay, so let us quickly show you my solution. Okay, let me quickly show you that. See, I've created a DP array. Okay, because this is a DP question, I am creating a DP array. So each DP array is basically going to have two parts. Okay, first of all, I've taken the length of the questions, and then I'm going to create a DP array where this array is going to be created. That is for every index I, this array is going to be there. Okay, and for a range n. Okay, now, and then this is the explanation just for you. So the idea here is, see, DP of I of 0 will tell you, okay, the zeroth index and the index number 1. Okay, so let us quickly go for each one of them. See, index number 0 means I'm talking about this is index number 0 and this is index number 1. Okay, so index number 0 talks about the max points if you start answering from the ith question. Okay, similarly, the index number 1 tells you that max points if we start answering from the ith question but skip the ith question. Let's see, we are going to start solving, but we are not we are going to start solving means we are not going to consider any question that came previously, that is before ith index, whatever came, we are not going to consider that also. Okay, but yeah, we are going to start solving from the ith question onwards, but the current question we are going to skip. Okay, simple as that. So it's a fixed one. We are going to definitely, current question should be skipped. Okay, even if it is the best, we are still going to skip it. Similarly here, max points if we start solving from the current question. Okay, as simple as that. So definitely we are going to solve the current question. That is something that we can tell. Okay, so zeroth index means definitely we are going to solve current question. Index number 1 means we are going to skip the current question, but any question that came after this, we are going to consider them which is the best. Okay, and we're going to take that. So let's say what we're doing it here. So DP of n minus 1 of 0. Okay, so n minus 1 of 0, see, obviously the last question we see. Okay, the last question here, only the points matter, right? The brain power here doesn't matter because after this there are no questions, right? So brain power is not important here, only the points are important. So what I'm doing is, for the last, see, for DP of n minus 1, for the zeroth index, what is the zeroth index? Zero index means definitely we're going to solve the current question. Okay, for that, what we're doing is questions of n minus 1 of 0. Okay, so we are only going to take the points. When I say 0, I'm going to take the points here. Okay, 0 means the points here. Okay, I'm going to take the points and write it here. Okay, as simple as that. Now what I'm doing next is I'm going from index n minus 2 onwards. See, n minus 1 is already done. Okay, we are going from n minus 2 till index 0 we are going. Okay, from n minus 2 till index 0 we are going. Okay, in a reverse direction. So what I'm doing is, see, dp of 1. Okay, dp of I of 1. Okay, what is I of 1? See, 1 basically means that we are going to start from the current question, but we are going to skip the current question. Okay, so what it means that dp of I of 1 is equal to max of dp of I plus 1. Okay, so dp of I plus 1 will have a zeroth index, it will have index number 1. Okay, so for among both of them, whichever is the largest, that will be taken and stored in dp of I of 1. Okay, so among dp of I plus 1, whichever, there are two values in dp of I of plus 1. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me show you the thing first. Okay, so see, this is how it is going to look like. For example, when I'm calculating this, what I will do is the max of these two. Okay, that is max of 2 or 0, which is the max that I will take and store it here. Okay, so dp of I of 1 is equal to dp of max of the next element. The Yeah, so if you see, that's what we are doing. dp of I of 1 is equal to max of dp of I plus 1. Okay, as simple as that. Now dp of I of 0 will have, we have to do some more calculations for dp of I of 0. So basically, what is I of 0? See, max point if we start starting from the ith question. So idea here is, if we start solving the current question, what all we can get? What is the max thing that we can do? Okay, so what I'm doing, see, if we start solving from the current question, one thing is very clear: we are going to get the points of that question. So first we'll take the points. Okay, so always the zeroth index represent the points. So we are going to take quotients of I of 0. This is going to tell us the points. Okay, now we are going to store that points in our zeroth index. Now next thing is that, see, because there is a brain power concept also, so we'll have to skip certain questions. So what is that certain number of question that we are going to skip? That is being represented by k. Okay, so k is equal to I plus 1 plus quotients of I of 1. Okay, see, the index number 0 represents points, the index number 1 represents the brain power. Okay, so this many questions you have to skip. Okay, 1 plus the brain power of I, whatever is the value, that many questions you have to skip. So that these two values I'm adding it to my I. Okay, so these two values I'm adding it to my I, and we are getting the value k. So k is going to represent the index from which we can again start picking the values. Okay, so if this k is less than n, what I am doing is, in the dp of I of 0, see, dp of I of 0 is already initialized. Okay, dp of I of 0 is already initialized. To that I'm going to add some more values. What is that? In that I'm going to add dp of k, whatever is the max value of dp of k. Okay, see, here we did max of dp of I plus 1. Here we're going to do max of dp of k. Okay, as simple as that. Remember, dp of I of 0 is already initialized. We're adding some additional values in that. Okay, as simple as that. I will show you how it works in the example. We'll trace it out, but for now just see that. Okay, then I'm printing this for your purpose, and then in the dp of 0 there are two values. Whichever is the max, we are going to return that. So let me quickly do the tracing part, because here the tracing part becomes more important than the actual code, right? So I have example number 1 in my site, and I have the tracing for it in my site. Okay, this is the DP value. So let us quickly initialize what is happening. Okay, first of all, we are going to start from this particular one. Okay, what is this? See, this is the last DP of I, this DP of I minus 1, right? See here, that here this will represent that if we see, I will again see, I will highlight this part. See, 0 means we have to compulsorily solve this question. 1 means we have to skip this question. Okay, simple as that, right? 0 means we have to compulsorily solve, and 1 means we have to skip. So 0 means compulsorily solve. Okay, so compulsorily solving means we'll get these points. Okay, so I will add this here. Okay, and this value means we have to skip. So if we skip the last question, obviously we don't have any points. Okay, so it will be 0. Okay, next, let us go to the next question. Here we have again two values. This value means that we will have to solve this question. So if we solve this question, we are getting 4 points, and we see we are getting 4 points. That is true, but we'll have to skip the next four questions. So after skipping the next four questions, obviously there is no question left. Okay, if we skip the next four questions, there won't be anything left. So the only value that we'll get is 4. So we'll write 4 here. Okay, and the second part is if we don't solve the current question. So if we don't solve this question, the only best thing that we can take is among these two, which is the max. Okay, among 2 and 0, max is 2. So we'll add the 2 here. Okay, then we'll go to the next index. Next is this one. Okay, now how to do this? Here again, same thing. If we solve this question, okay, we are going to get 4 points, and we are going to solve the next three questions. So if we skip the next three questions, there is nothing left. So we are only having 4 points. So we'll add 4 here. Similarly, if we skip this question, okay, if we skip this particular question, what we are going to get? We have to take the max value of these two. Okay, we have to take the max value of these two. The max of these two is 4. So I will add 4 here. Okay, now please pay attention. Now the most important part. Now we're in the index number 0. So the idea here is, see, let's talk about if we solve this question compulsorily. Okay, if I solve this question, I will get 3 points. Okay, now you will ask me how 5 is written. See, the topic is going to be very, very simple. I will get 3 points, but I have to skip next two questions. That means I will have to skip these two questions, but after skipping these two questions, still there is a question left. Okay, so I will get 3 points plus max of, if you skip these two, what is the value? This is the one. Okay, see, you have to skip the next two indices and then go to the dp value. Okay, so I will get 3 points plus max of these two. Okay, max of any one of these two. Okay, so 3 plus max of these two, that is 2. Okay, 3 plus 2 is 5, so we'll add 5 here. And the second part is when we skip this question, if we skip this question, we have only these two options left. So among them, which is the max, that will take. So we'll add 4 here. Okay, 4, because among them the max is 4, right? So we'll add 4 here. Now the answer is going to be, for the dp of 0, these two are the values. Among them, which is the max, that is going to be the answer. Okay, so if you see the second example, also same thing, and in the dp of 0, which is the maximum value, that is going to be the final answer. Okay, that is what we are getting. So this is the solution, friends. And yeah, I understand you may not be getting in the first go, so it will take time. Definitely it will take time, but I told you the idea initially itself, that you have to start in the reverse direction. You have to go from n-1 till index number 0. Okay, in that direction we'll have to solve. And see, there are two cases here. We can either skip a question, or we will attempt the question. Okay, there are only two cases. That's why for every question, basically, we are maintaining two states. Okay, if we skip the current question, okay, if we skip the current question, what is the maximum number of points that we are going to have? Similarly, if we attempt the question, okay, then what is the maximum of points that we are going to have? Okay, as simple as that. So that's why I've been see, I've clearly mentioned this point. If there is going to be the max points we can have if we start answering from the ith question. Okay, similarly, the maximum that we can have if we skip the ith question and go for the next question onwards. Okay, so that is all. Okay, so yeah, fun. That was all for this particular video. This question, I will say, was definitely slightly on the harder side. There's definitely not a easy one. Okay, definitely not easy one. Usually in the starting of the month, we do not see that much level, see that much hard question. But still, this month they have started with it. But yeah, it's a very good question. Most important part is it is not. It's kind of a premium solution, so you will not get the solution easily. But yeah, I've given you the solution here, right? So this was a DP question, and I've given the DP solution. So please try to understand the part. See, DP is, see, why DP is hard means you will have to imagine a lot. Okay, see, I cannot draw it and show it to you, but otherwise, the best part will be take a pen and paper and try to draw the states for everything. Okay, here I'm directly show you the output. Okay, but yeah, this thing is something that you have to visualize in your mind, or maybe draw in a pen and paper, and then analyze whether the solution will really work or not. Okay, as simple as that. For me, I did that part, and then I'm coming up with a solution. Okay, I got to know that, yeah, for every basically question we have two states. First state is whether we can answer it or not. If we skip it, what is the best max value that we're going to get? If we answer it, what is the next max value we are going to get? Okay, so that's what I've done it here, and frame the solution. So go through it, add some more print statements, try to get that, whatever doubts have, you can ask that to me, I will answer that. But again, my request will be, first try to, take different test cases, add some more test cases for your own, and then try to run the solution and see how the DP is getting formed, how the answer is coming, always why always this particular answer is working. Okay, so yeah, that was all for this particular video. And yeah, see, the idea here is, see, this kind of question you can even apply in your real world examples. Okay, that is something that I want to tell you. See, this question definitely it can apply. Okay, though they have mentioned a very vague concept like a brain power or something, but in a real this thing you can take as a downtime. Okay, so the idea here is, let us say you have a server. Okay, and you are getting multiple requests. Okay, each request, okay, once you service a request, you are getting certain points. If you are servicing a request, there will be a downtime for the server. Okay, the server will get heated up and it will be down for the next 2 or 3 minutes, whatever it is. So in that way, you can imagine, and yeah, in those situations, okay, this kind of problem will be, a real example, I can say. Okay, it will be a real life example of this particular problem. So you can think of it in that way. But again, I felt this question was, very much related to the real life, and this solution will be definitely helping you a lot if you are aware of these kind of solutions. Learn the DP. DP is something that you, if you master it, definitely will help you a lot in your interview, at the same time in your normal problem solving. Okay, in whatever problems you're facing in your life, you can basically create a problem out of that using the DP. Okay, so often that was all for this particular video, and this is the first day of the month. Please try your best to maintain your consistency. I will again repeat, say it's not just about copy and pasting the solution. Give some dedicated window, 1 hour, 2 hour. See, depending on your experience, have the dedicated window. Then attempt the question. Okay, do not see any solution, keep attempting for that particular window. If you're not able to solve in that window, then see the solutions and then try to understand what is happening. So yeah, fun, that was all for this particular video. I hope you will dedicatedly solve for the April month, and then we'll see class. Okay, see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot.